When Elon Musk walked onto the stage with the sleek black prototype in his hand, the room was charged with anticipation. For years, speculation about a Tesla phone had swirled around the tech community, often dismissed as rumor or a distraction from Tesla's core mission of electric vehicles and energy solutions. But as he lifted the device under the spotlight, it became instantly clear that this was not an experiment or a concept piece. It was Tesla's entry into the most competitive technology arena on the planet. The announcement of a Tesla phone, paired with native Starlink connectivity, instantly ignited shockwaves across the industry, reshaping discussions about the future of smartphones, networks, and global communications. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The unveiling was unlike other consumer tech launches. Musk framed the phone not as another luxury gadget, but as a piece of infrastructure, an access point to a planetary-scale network. While Apple, Samsung, and Google have fought for dominance in design, app ecosystems, and camera performance, Tesla had taken a radically different path. The defining feature was not its hardware aesthetics, though the device looked futuristic with clean lines and a minimalistic metallic body. What stunned the audience was the seamless integration with Starlink, the satellite constellation developed by SpaceX. This meant the Tesla phone was not tied to traditional cellular carriers, but directly linked to a network orbiting Earth. For the first time, a smartphone promised to function globally without reliance on local providers. The implications were staggering. The traditional model of telecommunications relies on ground infrastructure, cell towers, fiber optic cables, regional licensing, and the sprawling bureaucracy of spectrum allocation. In contrast, the Tesla phone represented a bypass of all that complexity. With Starlink, a user in a remote desert, on an ocean voyage, or in the middle of a natural disaster could remain connected. This was more than a convenience. It was a shift in how humanity might think about digital access. The idea of being perpetually online anywhere on Earth was no longer science fiction. It was hardware in Musk's hand. As he demonstrated the phone's functionality, the scale of the innovation became clear. He opened apps, browsed websites, and placed a live call through Starlink, all without a traditional SIM card or carrier. For those in attendance, it was like witnessing the birth of a new internet age. Telecom companies had long held a grip on connectivity, creating regional monopolies and complicated pricing schemes. With this single announcement, Tesla had positioned itself to challenge them all. Musk even emphasized that the device was designed for resilience, with antennas optimized to communicate with the low Earth orbit satellite network efficiently, and a battery capable of handling the energy demands of direct satellite connectivity. The tech industry, known for incremental improvements year after year, suddenly found itself facing a paradigm shift. For years, consumers have been conditioned to expect yearly upgrades in smartphone cameras, processors, or screen technology, but connectivity had remained relatively unchanged, tethered to the limitations of towers and terrestrial infrastructure. The Tesla phone broke through that ceiling. It was not just another phone, it was a reimagining of what a phone could be when untethered from the ground. For rural communities across the world, the possibilities were profound. Billions of people live in regions underserved by reliable internet infrastructure. Governments and companies alike have struggled to build networks in rugged terrain or low-income areas, citing the high cost of laying cables or erecting towers. Now, with the Tesla phone, connectivity could become democratized. A farmer in Africa, a researcher in Antarctica, or a traveler deep in the Amazon rainforest could all be connected with the same speed and reliability as someone in New York or Tokyo. The divide between urban and rural digital access seemed, at least in principle, on the verge of collapse. Yet it wasn't just global connectivity that made the launch extraordinary. The Tesla phone was deeply integrated into the broader Tesla ecosystem. Musk demonstrated how the device could instantly connect to a Tesla vehicle, not through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, but via Starlink synchronization. This meant that cars could receive software updates, map data, and navigation instructions even in areas with no ground coverage. Imagine driving an electric vehicle through remote mountain ranges, guided by live data streamed directly from orbit. The synergy between Tesla's automotive vision and its new telecommunications footprint was obvious. The phone wasn't simply a product. It was a gateway into Tesla's expanding technological universe. The demonstration also hinted at applications far beyond personal convenience. Emergency services, disaster response teams, and humanitarian organizations could deploy Tesla phones in crisis zones to restore communication within minutes. Traditional infrastructure often collapses during earthquakes, hurricanes, or wars, leaving survivors cut off from aid. A Starlink-enabled phone could be the difference between isolation and rescue. In the eyes of many watching, the device was more than a status symbol or gadget. It was potentially life-saving technology. Of course, competition immediately came to mind. Apple, which has dabbled in emergency satellite messaging with recent iPhone models, suddenly looked behind the curve. Their limited partnerships with satellite providers could not match a phone designed from the ground up to work seamlessly with its own satellite constellation. Samsung and Google, for all their strengths in design and software, had no comparable infrastructure to offer. The Tesla phone was not just another player entering the smartphone wars, it was an entirely new category. A device backed not only by a car company, but by a space company with thousands of satellites already in orbit. The business implications were as dramatic as the technological ones. Telecommunications is one of the most heavily regulated and profitable industries in the world. Carriers spend billions lobbying governments, securing spectrum licenses, and building infrastructure. If consumers adopted Tesla phones en masse, those carriers could see their role diminished. Why pay for roaming fees or data plans when a single device could connect anywhere, anytime, without intermediaries? Regulators were sure to react, and telecom giants would not go quietly. But at least for the moment, the industry was stunned into silence by the audacity of Tesla's move. The hardware itself reflected Tesla's design philosophy. Sleek, durable, and futuristic, it was built not just for aesthetics but for functionality. Its antenna system was larger and more advanced than anything in current flagship phones, optimized to maintain reliable satellite communication. The screen extended edge-to-edge with Tesla's signature minimalism, while the body appeared engineered to endure the kind of rugged conditions where Starlink connectivity would matter most. The battery, Musk claimed, was designed to last through extended use even when satellite communication demanded higher energy output than normal cellular usage. Everything about the device suggested it was more than a phone. It was a survival tool, a global communicator, and a portal into Tesla's ecosystem. Perhaps the most surprising element was Musk's insistence on accessibility. He noted that while the phone was advanced, the long-term vision was to drive costs down, making global connectivity affordable for everyone. For a man often accused of catering to the wealthy elite, this was a deliberate reframing. The Tesla phone was not positioned as a luxury object, but as an equalizer. A device that could bridge gaps, not widen them. Whether or not the economics would work out remained to be seen, but the ambition was unmistakable. For the tech world, the shock came not only from the phone itself, but from the timing. Just as competitors were settling into predictable cycles of annual updates, Tesla had detonated a disruptive innovation that forced everyone back to the drawing board. It was reminiscent of how the first iPhone had upended the market in 2007, or how Tesla's own Model S had reshaped the perception of electric cars. This was not an accessory to existing ecosystems, it was a foundation for something new. The announcement wasn't simply about a product launch, it was about changing expectations of what a phone, and by extension connectivity itself, could mean. As Musk concluded the reveal, the industry chatter was already erupting. Would Apple accelerate its satellite initiatives? Would Samsung seek partnerships with other low Earth orbit providers? Could traditional carriers reinvent themselves to remain relevant? The questions outnumbered the answers. But one fact was undeniable. The Tesla phone with Starlink connectivity had landed like a thunderbolt, and nothing in the smartphone world looked the same afterward. The announcement also sparked intrigue about how developers and entrepreneurs might leverage this new foundation. A phone with direct satellite access opens opportunities for applications that were previously constrained by patchy coverage or dependence on carrier agreements. Remote medical diagnostics, real-time environmental monitoring, and global educational platforms could suddenly operate without worrying about local infrastructure. Entrepreneurs in emerging markets could build services confident their users would never be left offline. By shifting connectivity from a regional commodity to a universal constant, the Tesla phone redefined the canvas for innovation, promising a wave of new industries born from global, uninterrupted access. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on Tesla making a phone? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.